Welcome to the United States of Paranormal podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Welcome to episode 6 of the United States of Paranormal. I am your host, Golden J, and with me as always, my partner in crime, Alicia.
Hi, how you guys doing?
How are you doing?
I'm good. A little scared.
We're having some crazy things going on in the studio. I think we've freaked ourselves out.
We're just paranoid, I think.
We are extremely
It's
paranoid.
nothing.
We have decided from this point on we're going to only talk about fairies and unicorns and no more
Rainbows. No more spookies.
Oh, wow. We hope you all have been enjoying the first few episodes. We want you to know that how happy we are that you are here with us again today.
Absolutely.
Alicia, how do you think things are going so far?
I think they're going great. I think people really like getting scared. I think is what it is.
I think we do it to ourselves, just like we felt just a few minutes ago when we heard noises in the studio.
Yeah, we heard knocking in the wall.
Yeah.
And Jeremy and I were just staring at each other. We had our headphones on I'm thinking at first there's a glitch in the headphones. Then I took my headphones off and there's a tapping in the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jeremy, it's in the wall because he's looking all over. And you know what it was, folks? It was a chair. It was a leather chair that Jeremy pushed up against the wall. It was like moving.
Yeah, and it would just give us a little tick. But it was in time. It was like tick, tick,
yeah,
tick, tick. And I'm like, it sounded like a drip. I thought it was a drip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a drip.
Yeah, or somebody knocking on the wall. As long as we don't have any scratching, I think we'll be okay.
I don't hear any sounds come out of the wall at all. No sounds in the walls.
Well, give a shout out to our second team, Team Teos. We want to say you guys are doing a great job. We're loving what's coming out from down there.
Oh, for sure.
They are doing an amazing job. So
they're a good team. They work really well together.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
You can tell that they're good friends and they're able to play off of each other and just, kind of razz each other a little bit. And,
yeah.
And I just want them to know that I don't cry in a Spectrum van. Mine's just a regular white transit van. I just, sometimes I just crawl in the back and think to myself, what have I become?
You've become a scared little baby in
I
this
know,
studio.
in my own damn studio. But yeah, I love the whole Spectrum van thing. I think that's great. I do want, we did get a viewer question. Your last episode was an amazing story from Erica. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we had a question come in through somebody that I know, and
Really?
maybe even Logan will cover this one too because it did come from somebody that we're mutually related to. But Britt wants to know about: would you ever use a Ouija board?
You answer first.
I have used a Ouija board.
Oh no!
And it happened to be in Britt's house when I did it. So I don't know if she remembers it. It's been a long, long time ago, but there's some things that happen with that thing that I cannot explain. Even looking back at it now, I was in a band, and I asked if I was ever going to make it, in the music business. And of course, it slid down to yes. And
Hey.
I said, great. I said, with what band? And it actually wrote out. The band was called Wild Roses, so this goes back even farther than the Shattered Image days, which is still early or late high school. But it said Wild Roses, but we spelled it with a Y, and it actually spelled it with a Y on the Ouija board. Yeah. So I don't know how that works. I don't, it's just. But then it got a little sketch, and
Started doing weird
it
stuff.
started doing weird stuff, and it actually, I do believe, if I remember correctly, and for those who are listening, like my sister-in-law Dawn, because she was there with me, I'm pretty sure that it spelled out Satan.
But it spelled it wrong and spelled Santa.
Santa. At least it didn't spell Krampus. That's all I can say.
Hey.
But I could be wrong. But then I think we ended it. I was like, okay, goodbye. We're done.
Ew.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that was the last time that was the last time I actually played with one. I do believe that particular Ouija board is still in my house.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
And I go in your house.
It's just a Parker Brothers one. You can pick
I
it up
know.
at Toys R Us or Walmart.
No.
Maybe later we'll bring it out here and see what we come up with.
It's not the Ouija board itself. It's the intent, the energy behind it. Like, I think you could literally make a Ouija board out of anything, like a piece of paper or cardboard or whatever. It's opening and welcoming with your intent and your energy that really freaks me out. Like mirrors. Roy doesn't like mirrors. I like mirrors, but I will not, like, there's mirrors all over our house. I will not face two mirrors across from each other because that brings bad energy and it allows portals and, like, intent, like, stuff like that.
Okay. That's fair.
I've never messed with a Ouija board ever.
No?
No, because I feel like I would have good intent, but intrusive thoughts would come in and be like, but what if, like, when am I going to die? And then I would think about it, and then I feel like that intent and that negative energy would get transferred over to the board.
I can totally understand that. I totally get that.
So, yeah, I take stuff too seriously.
Well,
when it comes
but no,
to
I
intent.
mean, if you look at it from the skeptical side of it, you wonder how that works. Is somebody really moving it? I mean, are you unconsciously moving the little thing? I mean,
the planchette.
Yeah, it's called a what?
A planchette.
See, I don't even know that.
Well, and think about the people that said we weren't even touching it. And they swear up and down they weren't even touching it, but their hands were above it and they're transferring that energy over to the planchette and the board. So, I don't know.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, and I mean, depending on how many people you have, that's a lot of energy. And if, everybody's got good intent, but one person's like being awful and they're transferring. And then you've got, like, there's too much stuff. Like, you got to open the board, you got to close the board.
Yep.
I would be so paranoid I'd forget to close the board and then I'd let out
the
Pandora's
board
box.
would be sitting there just flopping up and down, demons shooting out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not the Ouija board itself. It like draws have you ever heard of what are those things called? I can't remember, but they're like, it's the manifestation of energy creates things. I'll have to tell you the word later on because I can't remember, but so, like, Slender Man, that was a fake thing on a creepypasta from Reddit.
Yeah.
But people have put so much energy into it, thinking about it, that it's created a real creature. Genies are kind of like the same thing. Like, you think about it and you talk about it so much that all that energy you're expending onto it is actually manifesting it to be a real thing. Am I making sense here? You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No. I'm actually thinking about something a little bit simpler than manifesting a cryptid or something like that. Have you ever thought, man, I haven't seen this person in forever, and then boom, you run into them on the street?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Or like global consciousness. I believe in global consciousness. So, like, if everybody's in a shitty mood, it just keeps propelling shitty things to happen because they're creating that energy. Like, during lockdown and stuff, everybody was just mad and grumpy and depressed and stuff about everything that was going on. So it just kept propelling bad things to happen.
I have days like that.
Yeah.
Where you're just kind of in a bad mood, but
funk.
Everything just escalates, and then before
you
know
snowballing because you can't get out of that. That's why, like, having positive thoughts can really change your whole entire day or your life or your whatever, because you keep having, forcing yourself to be positive, think positive thoughts, say positive things, and overall you're manifesting happiness and positivity into your life. So now that I'm on my soapbox here, but yeah, I think that's the Ouija board.
I think that's very true. I'm a big true believer in positive thinking. Mm-hmm. I've been working on it really hard the last few years because I found that I was extremely negative, and the more negative I got, the more angry I got. And it got to a point where I'm like, well, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I tried to turn everything around into something a little more positive.
Same. That was my goal when I turned 30. Was I was going to stop focusing on the minute things that come all together, and then it puts me in a really damper of a mood,
Right.
a bad mood. I'm gonna start looking at it as
Well,
it's not that big of a deal.
It's
It's
the
life.
glass half full. My
Yeah.
Mountain Dew's not half gone. I still got half of it left.
Exactly.
See, life is good. Life is so good. And life is good.
It
You
is.
just got to look for the positive. Sometimes it's really, really hard to find, especially in the world we live in today. But so there you have it. Very nice. So no Ouija board for Alicia.
No Ouija board for me. No, thank
Okay.
you.
That's all right because I haven't touched one in over. That's got to be what 30 years, something like that. I haven't touched it in 30 years.
My whole life.
Your whole life. I probably played with it the day that you were born.
Was it winter?
I don't even remember. It might
If
have
it
been.
was, that'd be funny. Oh my God! You manifested me with the
Look
Ouija
at
board.
that.
I'm
look
Satan.
at that. Look what we've done. It took 30 years to get us to this point and figure it out, but this is what we've done. That's awesome. That is amazing. All right, well, let's get into today's weird and bizarre. Are you ready?
I'm so ready to hear about this.
I'm a little weirded out by the fact that you did a cryptid last time, and today's about a cryptid.
We're on the same wavelength
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm telling you.
Yep. Today we are going to talk about the Puck. Let me get this right. What did Gunner say it was again?
Pukwudgies.
Wudgies.
Yeah.
The Pukwudgies. I don't want to say wedgies.
No wedgies.
No wedgies. So wudgies. Wudgies. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the Pukwudgies. My sources are indianahistory.org, grunge.com, Paul Startzman's book, The Pukwudgies of Indiana, New England Folklore by Peter Muse, and Crime and Cryptid podcast.
Crime Encrypted?
Uh-huh.
What a fun podcast.
I did listen to a little bit of them. Yeah.
Huh. I'm ready to learn about
All right.
them.
Okay, let me start. So let me start with telling you about the Pukwudgie. Okay. According to Paul Startzman's book, The Pukwudgies of Indiana, they are a small troll-like creature that stands about 3 to 4 foot tall. They are able to appear and disappear at will.
What?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah. How do you like that?
I don't. I don't like it.
It gets worse. They are also able to shapeshift into animals. Yeah. Now, a lot of the research that I've done show that they mainly kind of change into bears because a lot of the things that you see, they pretty much are bears when you see them.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of weird because they get a glimpse of them, and then there's a bear. Isn't that wild?
That's funky.
Isn't it crazy? I don't know if that's to scare people easier, like, oh shit, there's a bear.
Yeah, it's their defense mechanism almost.
I just don't know why they do it like that, but maybe that is.
I would turn into a bear, probably.
They also have enlarged ears, fingers, and noses with a gray skin that they say is really smooth. I've also read that they're very hairy.
Oh my God. Do you know what I'm thinking about?
Dolby from Harry Potter?
No. Have you seen Frozen?
Yes, of course I've seen Frozen.
They look like that. I'm thinking of the trolls
Yeah,
in Frozen that turn into rocks.
No, that's not Frozen. That's Trolls.
No, Frozen. Kristoff's family that raises him.
Oh, what?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I
They've
do.
got
I got
crazy hair,
my Disney things all messed up.
They got a big nose,
Yeah.
big hands.
Yeah,
big
they're
ears.
real short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're gray and their skin looks smooth, but they turn into rocks.
Uh-huh. They shapeshift. Maybe that's where they got that idea.
Maybe.
Yeah. They say that they're hairy, but it's kind of like on their arms and on their heads. It's not
Okay.
really like, that's why I think that's where they kind of get the gray skin type thing. So their long hair kind of reminds you of like what a little old man or a little old woman might have, with the long kind of stringy white hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But their arms, like I said, their arms are really kind of hairy too. So it's a whole mix for me to figure out if they have smooth gray skin, but they're really hairy. I don't understand the
Yeah.
mixture of those two. But in the Wampanoag tribe legend, the Pukwudgies have some sort of magic powers where they can trick someone and lure them into the deep woods where they could kill them and eat them, or just trick them into walking off a cliff without people knowing what they are doing.
Oh my God. This is mean little guys.
Some even say they can take the form of loved ones' spirits to get you to follow them.
Jeez, oh Pete's. They're evil.
But are they? I have found that mostly that they just lure humans out and then just get them lost, just to mess with them, because they're very mischievous. And they leave them out there for like long days on end, long periods of time, because they get lost in these deep dark woods.
Yeah.
They also can create fire.
What?
Yeah, they just manifest fire.
What the hell?
I don't know. And poisonous darts out of thin air. But then there's the big one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
They've been known to steal your children.
Oh my God. Like a fairy.
Yeah, like a fairy. Yeah, it comes in. One of the most popular places to see them is Mound State Park in Anderson, Indiana, which runs along the White River. There's something to do with the river. They just kind of migrate to that area. So rumor has it, down there at Mounds, they're really, really noticeable. You can really find them. But they're also been known to go all the way up into Fort Wayne along the White River.
Oh my gosh.
And the White River, as you might know, runs right through downtown. Mm-hmm. So, maybe there's Pukwudgies right downtown.
Maybe.
Fort Wayne. That would be a little strange. Another popular sighting is around New England. And I'm not talking about the Patriots, which might explain how they won so many damn Super Bowls. Just saying. But more around a little town called Freetown, Massachusetts, where they've had so many sightings and problems with them that they had to put up a caution sign at the edge of town that says Pukwudgie's exiting.
No shit.
No shit. And I will have a photo to go up on social media when this episode comes out of that sign.
That's really
Isn't
funny.
that crazy? Now, Freetown and the Freetown National Park is part of what they call the Bridgewater Triangle. Mm-hmm. That's where numerous spottings, not only the Pukwudgies, but also like Bigfoot, some giant snake, UFOs, and ghosts were just to name a few of the things that they've seen inside this national park. But we'll talk about more about Bridgewater Triangle in a later episode, I'm sure. We were discussing that earlier.
Yeah, we'll be deep diving into that.
Deep diving. So there you go. That's just some of the folklore of the Pukwudgie. What do you think about all that?
I think they sound terrifying.
They do kind of sound a little
and
scary.
Horrific. Yeah.
So you want to hear some stories that I found online?
Yes.
Just a few. There's not many. This one, I spent quite a few hours searching for just stories because I wanted to tell stories.
Yeah.
And there are not a ton of stories, just people that say they see them. But I got a couple good ones.
Yeah, because they're luring people out and leaving them for dead.
Leaving them for dead. So this story here comes from the New England Folklore by Peter Music. This is a story about a boy. And in this story from Peter, he calls him Bob. Mm-hmm. Bob loved to visit his grandparents who lived in a house that bordered the Freetown National Forest. Bob was sitting on his grandparents' couch one afternoon with his cousin, we'll call her Sarah. Now the couch faced the TV, but the back of the couch faced the front doorway. And anyone who has ever been paranoid knows you never face away from the entrance. So not in a restaurant, not in a bar. You're always making sure you know exactly who's coming through that door at all times. Well, as Bob and Sarah were watching TV, Bob felt something pull on his hair. He turned to Sarah and said, "Don't do that." And Sarah just looked at him and said, "I didn't do anything." The kids went back to watching TV when Bob got his hair pulled again. Bob looked at Sarah and said, "Stop pulling my hair." Once again, Sarah says, "I didn't do anything." They went back to watching TV. So, kids being kids, right?
Yeah.
Once more, yep, that's right. Bob got his hair pulled. This time he was pissed. Okay? He turned and looked at Sarah and yelled at her and said, "Stop pulling my hair." And once again, she said, "I didn't do that." So Bob looked over the back of the couch behind him, behind him.
Yeah.
Standing there in the living room is a 2 or 3 foot tall, white-haired old lady. She turned and ran out the front door where she vanished into thin air.
Oh, my God.
Well, of course, Bob and Sarah were freaked out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be. They go running into their grandma to tell her what had happened. And do you know what she told them?
What?
Are you ready?
No.
Don't worry. They're friendly.
Oh. They're not.
I wish you could see Alicia's face right now.
They're horrible little critters.
They were just playing.
No. Mm-mm.
I'm just watching TV. But you know what? That's not all for Bob. Poor Bob. He was out to the movies with his mom and once again Sarah, which is his cousin. They decided to stop by their grandparents' house on their way back. When they got to the front door, it was locked. Sarah went to the window to see if anyone was home, and she turned and said, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." That is a direct quote. So Bob's mom went to the window, and when she peeked in, she saw a little white-haired old man, about 2 or 3 foot tall, go running out of the living room. And needless to say, they left very quickly.
Hell yes, they did. Oh, my God.
I wish I knew exactly how old Bob and Sarah was. But that little girl just going, "I'm getting the fuck out of here."
Right?
That's probably the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Oh, my gosh. Is there a date on this?
There was not a date on this. These were just stories that were in Peter's book, the New England Folklore.
Yeah, no, I would be moving. I feel like Grandma's in denial.
A couple of other stories that I found come from the Crime Encrypted podcast. The first story is about a woman named Joan. Obviously, they changed the name to protect whoever it was. So we're going to call her Joan just for fun. But Joan was walking her dog one beautiful spring day in the forest. Come on, people. In the forest, really? You know what's out there.
Stay out of the woods.
Yeah. When her dog spotted something and took off running. And, of course, Joan followed. When the dog finally stopped, Joan came face to face with a little troll-like man standing on a rock. Hair down his arms, and hair on his head looked like a helmet. He had a large torso, short legs, a long face, and deep green eyes. Now, honestly, I don't know how close you have to be to this little man to see that he has deep green eyes.
Yeah.
But I think that might be a bit close.
Too close.
Yes. Since the encounter, she has seen him several times watching her in the woods. So obviously it didn't scare her enough to keep her out of the woods. She would keep going. But in more than one occasion, she would wake up in the middle of the night and see him staring at her through her window, and he would just tap, tap, tap on the glass.
No.
She had to move to escape him.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Ew, I had chills all over my body. I don't like these guys.
Oh, come on. They're not that bad.
They're horrid.
They're not that bad. And another story of a teenager, and once again, we'll change the name. We'll call him Tom. Tom snuck out of his house, because he needed some alone time, to think and chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking he was doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
While he was walking through the woods, he seen what he thought was a glowing light. And he claims that it was like breathing. It was just like pulsating, and it's just kind of swelled in and out. It rose to about shoulder height and then took off down a path in the woods. So what did Tom do? Yeah, he followed it.
Like a big dumbass.
He followed it down this long, dark path until all of a sudden it disappeared. And he stood there for a few seconds, and then he decided, I probably better go home. When he turned around, Right behind him stood a little man with a long nose, all covered in hair. When Tom seen him, the little man ran off moaning. How's that for weird?
Gross.
You know what? That's not all for Tom's story, though. One night, Tom decided he needed to get out of the house for some chill time. So he took his car down to one of the parking areas down by the woods. And, just to relax, he turned the car off, turned the radio down real softly, and was just kick back, relaxing. But when he looked out his window about 20 feet away, standing at the edge of the woods, he noticed the same little man just staring at him. And just when he seen him, okay, so he turns, looks out his window, sees a little man, right? And just when he sees him, his car starts up and his radio starts blasting. Now, I'm not really know how long it took Tom to jam the car to drive and get out of there. But, yeah, he left pretty quickly.
Oh, my God. Tom needs to lay off the fart leaves.
Yeah, you know what Tom was doing. Now, I'm not going to lie. Tales of the Pukwudgie are very few and far in between. I know there are a few photos out there, and in my eyes, they could be mistaken for monkeys or sloths.
Oh.
Just kind of looking at some of the ones that I saw.
Yeah.
But sloths are so slow, and it's really hard to.
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep that from distinguish between the two.
Well,
if you see a sloth,
in the East Coast or in
Indiana.
Exactly.
Well, that's true. I've seen one in Indianapolis.
Yeah, we saw one at the zoo. At the zoo, not just out in the middle of the woods.
Just out there. So, however slow sloths are, I mean, if you're just catching a glimpse, what your mind can do to you.
Yeah.
Kind of like the tap-tapping on the wall.
Heebie-jeebies.
So I've been to Mound State Park in Anderson.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful park. The mounds are actually something really cool to see. They're not like, they're not like the pyramids or anything, but, they're pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one late night while we were camping, and after hearing the legends, we decided to take a stroll down the path, just to go down by the White River and see what we can find. It was dark, and I mean dark, so much that you couldn't see your feet while you were walking. I remember tripping over roots and, different things in there. And we studied the tree line by the river, looking for glowing red eyes or any crazy light that they might give off. But friends, listeners, we discovered nothing.
Ah, man.
I know.
I was hoping for a first-hand story.
It was fun. It's one of those things that you go and you do, and it was a spur of the moment deal. We'd heard the legends, and we decided, why not? We're here.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just go do it? But yeah.
Well, that's a bummer.
I'm sorry. I tried.
We're going to have to go.
Hey, I go back to Mounds. I love that place.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing it and then get the pants scared off me.
We're back to the pants scaring.
Yeah, I'll wear 2 pairs.
So if you decide you'd like to take an adventure out and hunt for that magical Pukwudgie, Mound State Park is a great campground for you to stay in while you hunt close to the White River. But the bigger activity, obviously, is in Freetown, Massachusetts. But make sure to be make sure to bring your friendly attitude and maybe some peanut butter cookies to lure them out.
They like peanut butter cookies? They
like peanut butter cookies.
Gross.
You don't like peanut butter cookies?
I don't like peanut butter. I thought you knew that about me.
I don't know that we can be friends.
I can't stand peanut. I like crunchy peanut butter, but I do not like peanut butter. So
yeah, there you go. There's my little stories about the Pukwudgies.
That's wild.
They
literally sound like the trolls from Frozen. Like that's what I'm picturing.
I can totally see that now that you pointed that out.
Because they're gray. You know what's crazy to me? I feel like we would see so much more of these things if we weren't distracted by work and, technology. And we're always busy, always have 1,000 things to do constantly. Because I feel like obviously people a long time ago, like Native Americans,
We are just having a weird night.
What is happening in
We are
this
just
studio?
having a weird night in the studio. One of the cameras just fell down, and I could have swore I heard a voice while you were talking.
I heard a voice too. I thought I was going crazy. You're gonna have to listen back.
I'm gonna go back and listen to that. Yeah.
I'm gonna cry. There's way too many things happening.
Next week,
Anyway.
unicorns and happy fairies.
Oh my God, what
You gonna
is
be all right?
going on? Yeah, I'm so glad you said something because I heard a voice and I just kept talking.
Yep.
Because I was like, maybe I just imagined it. Maybe I'm a nutcase. Anyway, I feel like people a long time ago didn't have as many distractions.
It's true, and
they
you
could
covered
notice
it.
things.
We talked about this in the Nightcrawlers episode about how they could be right there as you're walking and you just don't notice
Yeah.
them. I mean,
You're too
because they're
busy.
hiding or and the Pukwudgies are the same thing. They're designed not to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, they made it so it's that way.
And they could be gone before we even would notice them
Right.
because they would see us first. They would always see us first.
Exactly. They're hiding or they're going through their portals,
Mm-hmm.
which, I'm actually a true believer in that. I think that's
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
why you can't see Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to fix my camera?
Yes. I'm sorry. I cannot believe that just fell off of there.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I really hope it was like our phones or something, but I know all my devices are on silent right now.
Right? Mine are too.
I want you
We're going to listen to it when we finish up here. We'll just back it up and take a listen. It's about 30 minutes or so. So
Oh my God.
we'll back it up. Okay. If you like what we're doing here at the United States of Paranormal, let us know. You can email us at unitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, where you can post a comment or send us an IM if you'd like. Either myself, Alicia, or Logan will get back to you. Also, if you are enjoying our content, please give us a follow and rate and review. Of course, you can do that on Apple Podcasts, but you can rate us on Spotify.
Yep.
The other ones, I'm not 100% sure if you can rate or not.
There's a couple of them I think you can.
I'm sure. We also have open merch store, which you can find in the link in the show notes and, of course, on our Facebook. I suggest the Golden Oldie t-shirt myself.
Of course he does.
Yeah,
That's him.
That's me. Also, don't forget to give our other Golden Mojo Entertainment podcasts some love. The Murd Nerds,
Hey.
the Call Guys, and the Golden Image podcast. They are all available on all your favorite. Oh dear Lord.
We're a little flabbergasted.
Yes, we are. They are all available on all your favorite streaming sites, and all can be found on Facebook also.
Yep.
Alicia, thanks for being here with me, and don't forget to come back next week when Team Tejas will bring you the next story from the United States of Paranormal. We'll see you on the other side.
Bye-bye.
To support other Golden Mojo Entertainment productions, check out Golden Image Podcast, The Call Guys, and Murd Nerds wherever you enjoy listening to podcasts. To see photos and find new episodes of the United States of Paranormal, follow us on our social media. Twitter at TUSOPPOD, or Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and Facebook, the United States of Paranormal. If you have a place that you'd like us to look into, or would like to share your spooky story that we can read on the air, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com.